Welcome to the Tarantula Cloud. This is Dale tonight, and we have a few updates here before we get to the feeding. So let's get to the first one, and that's my Poecilotheria ornata, the fringed ornamental Prometheus. And I don't normally get a chance to feature her out in the open, and this is the first time I've really gotten a really good shot of her out in the open walking around. And before I go further, I want to give my thoughts on Kelly Swift and tragedy with that. I want to just say that I bought a lot of my tarantulas, almost half my collection from Kelly, and I'm really bummed out about it. I didn't really want to upload the Tarantula Cloud this week because I was so bummed out, but I just thought I'd just go ahead and do it and kind of get my mind off of it. I was actually going to order from Swift next week, so that sucks, but I just want to get my thoughts and condolences to Kelly Swift and the tragedy that happened with that. Hopefully he bounces back strong. Alright, let's get back to the video. The next update we have is the Tarantulas marinus, the orange baboon tarantula, the OBT. And this is Tattoo, and I got a rare sighting of her peeking out, waiting for dinner. She's really webbed up in there. She has really elaborate tunnels that are up against the glass, so I can actually look in there and see her quite often. And she has some exit holes here that she'll peek out from, and I'll get a chance to see her rump usually. But every once in a while I'll get a shot of this where she's kind of peeking out, taking a look at me. I like this tea. Next up is my new addition, the Acanthoscurria insubtilis, the Choco Mossy Brown Earthwalker. I actually got her from one of my local pet stores that I get most of my supplies from, and they had her marked as a ½ inch. She's actually 1.25 inches, and they had her marked as $20, and she's really worth more than that. And for all you beginners out there, the more you know about these teas when you go into pet stores, especially local ones that don't really know what they have, the better you're going to get a gem out of it. And unfortunately for this pet store, I've really gotten some nice gems from them not knowing what they had. So all you beginners out there, do your research for a while before you go to those pet stores. You never know what you might find as a gem. Next up is the Brachypelma Smithy, the Mexican Red Knee Arclight, and she just molted again in my care. I wanted to feature her because I actually got her from Kelly Swift. And this is one of the last ones I've gotten before the accident, so wanted to feature her, and she's been doing great in here. Just finally molted again. I'm trying to get her out of that baby stage here, but it's great that she molted. Into our feedings now. We're starting off with the Acanthoscurria chacoana, the Bolivian Salmon Pink Rogue. We'll be going in alphabetical order. And as always, she doesn't disappoint. This tea here and some of my other juvies are around the same size, at 2.5 to 3.5 inch mark. I've been feeding them worms for a while. I usually do that after about maybe every 3 months or something like that, and then I go back to crickets just to fatten them up a little bit, especially during the winter months. But now it's going in the spring, and I kind of lighten the load a little bit. But as you'll see with the next tea here, the the Acanthoscurria geniculata, the Brazilian Giant White Knee Scarlet. She clearly is about to go into pre-molt. Look at this attack. That's one of her most beautiful moments to me. I really like this tarantula. Very easy to take care of. Definitely one you should have in your collection if you don't have one. But as you can see, her rump is huge. She'll be going to pre-molt soon, so definitely want to get her on here eating before she goes into too heavy of a pre-molt. And yeah, she's awesome. I love it when she attacks like that. Next up is the Phonopelma chalcodes, the desert/Mexican blonde Venus. And it's great to see her eating again. She kind of went on a little fasting period. She wouldn't eat that much, so I was thinking maybe she was in a pre-molt, but she's got a little bit of bald spot on her butt, but she's had that since I've had her. I've had her for about 6 months now, so she's doesn't look to be darkening up a little bit, and with her size, I don't think she's anywhere near pre-molt. I just think she was having a little bit of a fasting period, so it's good to see her eating a worm. She's a little picky. She doesn't always eat worms, so it was good to see her at least enjoying the worm there. These tarantulas take forever to get to this size, and she's around the 5-inch mark, maybe a little bit over. She's huge, and if you can find one that's older, I recommend getting one, just because the growth rate is so slow. I have 2 other ones that grow like molasses, so this one's actually awesome. If you can find an adult one, it's well worth getting one. Next up, Avicularia avicularia, the pink-toe Luna. I rarely get a chance to catch her actually attacking her food, but as you can see here, she's very picky. She likes her smaller variety crickets, and she's very content with that, and she probably won't even eat another one, but I wanted to show that she's actually doing okay. She still eats, just picky. Next up, Chromatopelma cyanopubescens, the green bottle blue, GBB. Her name is Ocean Storm, and she has a really nice attack here. Lightning fast sling. One of the things I love about these teas is that it's almost like having 2 teas in one. They look completely different as juveniles, and these slings around this age than when they do when they're adults. It's almost like having 2 different tarantulas as they get into the adult years, so it's a really nice tea. Next up, we have the Grammostola mall, the Chilean gold fluff, cotton candy. People was wondering how I got the name. To make it simple, I got her out, and she, as we watch this, when I first got her out, I actually handled her immediately, and I won't do it all the time. I don't really like to handle my teeth, but she was very sweet, so I thought I'd name her Candy. And my wife comes in, sees her for the first time, and says she's really, really fluffy. We should call her Cotton. She didn't know I had already named her Candy, so I told her I named her Candy, and she was like, well, I like Cotton better, so we came up with Cotton Candy. So that's basically how she got her name, and it fits her. She's very beautiful, and she's very active. She loves to climb, and this setup was actually with my Phonopelma chalcodes juvenile, and I actually put her in here because she loves to climb and walk about. So she's actually doing great in here. She loves to chill up there in her little tree and hang out and do her thing. Next up, we have the Grammostola rosea / portery, the Chilean rose, brown color form. Her name is Orion. It's a wild caught specimen I got out of a pet store. They didn't know what they had. And she's been fasting like crazy. She finally ate. She loves worms and crickets, but she hasn't eaten in about 2 months. Going all the way back, maybe even 3 months, she hasn't really eaten anything. But small crickets, nothing really big for her size. Might be going to pre-molt soon. It's hard to tell with her. I don't really know too much about the brown color forms, what they look like, how far they darken and harden up. But looking for the rump, she looks like she might be going into pre-molt soon. We're staying with the Grammostolas. We're going to go with my mature male, Grammostola rosea, Chilean rose, pistol. And this is the first time he's eaten in my care, and I've had him for almost a month. He's a little bit of a picky eater. He doesn't like crickets. I guess he likes worms, so I had to give him some often. But he's a faster. He doesn't really eat that much. And this tarantula will be bred with my other G. rosea female, Perseus, who is not featured in this video because she wouldn't eat anything. She's fasting. And the first one I'm breeding with is actually my first tarantula I ever owned, and that's Queen. The Grammostola rosea, as you see here, Chilean rose. This is Queen. She's in my Shire Ruins enclosure down there that I made for her. You can check out a previous video if you want to know what that looks like. And she hasn't eaten in about 4 months. And I'm not kidding, she hasn't eaten anything in about 4 months, and her rump is still huge. She finally came out. All my roseas basically ate in the same week. I don't know what's up with that. They were all been fasting. They all ate in the same week, so that's cool. All except Perseus, who's in a heavy pre-molt right now. and it's great to see Queen out and about. She loves this enclosure. She walks all about it. Did some extra footage on here, but I didn't want to waste it because I have a previous video featured just for this enclosure and Queen, so didn't want to waste anybody's time looking at it again. But it's actually a pretty cool enclosure if you want to go back and check it out. One of my prior uploads. Alright, next up we have the Nondu carapenensis, the Brazilian red. This is Argos. This is actually the freebie I got with my Smithy, B Smithy from my Kelly Swift Inverts. This one's lightning fast as a sling. Can't wait till this tea to get older. Actually looks pretty sweet as an adult specimen. And they have ferocious appetites even as a sling. This one can eat. And it's always looking for its next meal. Not skittish at all like my Nondu chromatus. This one's actually pretty docile at times. Most of the time it is. Pretty sweet little sling. Alright, next up we have my Poecilotheria Safusca Highland. It's ivory ornamental. This is Trinity. I just got it a couple weeks ago. And she's not skittish at all when it comes to light. She'll hang out, and I can film her pretty much anytime I want, and that's great because, I mean, as you can see here, even as a sling, they're really beautiful tarantulas. And she has a nice appetite. Unlike my P. ornata, who kind of a little bit of a picky eater, but my striata and my fasciata, they're both vicious eaters. Just hard to capture on camera because they're a little more skittish than this one. But this Highland, she's great on camera. Pretty much anytime I want to film her, she's out and about, and she has no problem with me filming her, opening up the door, filming her. As she gets older, obviously I'm going to be a lot more cautious with that, but right now she's at a unimposing stage, so I don't mind it too much. Open up the lid anyway when she eats. She loves the enclosure, utilizes all of it. She has great colorations on her. Really happy I got this tea. Last but certainly not least, this is my Thryxa palmaracate, the Peru Flame Rump, Mars Aries. Simply wanted to show her off here just because I like to document her temperament from week to week. She is absolutely all over the place, very bipolar. Sometimes she's running around excavating all week, very skittish, and right now she's going through a period for the last couple of weeks where she's sitting in the same spot like she's in pre-molt, even though she's not. She just molted a little while ago, and she's very docile and lazy and lethargic. So I just wanted to show her our temperament off for this week, and we'll see what she's like next week when I feed her. But she's all over the place. But that'll do it for this one, guys. I appreciate you guys watching the Tarantula Cloud, and I'll be uploading another one soon, as well as a Tarantula Focus feature series in the middle of the next week. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.